Hey guys, today I'm with Michel Gallone and I'm really happy to present you to him because it's an important person who worked in the music industry. So can you introduce a bit yourself?
Yes, hello. My name is Michel Gallone. I've been producing music now for quite a few years, and we've been, we met a few years ago, and I'm very happy to speak with you today about a few things.
Thanks a lot. And what did you do in your career? Can you explain us a
Yeah.
bit?
So basically, I started as a sound engineer. I always wanted to be a sound engineer from the top. Since really early on, like a kid.
You are, yeah, a kid. Yeah,
Very,
wow.
10 years old, I always knew what I wanted to do, so I did it. And it was very clear my path to be a sound engineer working in music. And also, I used to like film. I still do like film sound and things like that. But basically, music was the main focus for me, which I did. So I studied, and then I went to different recording studios in my very early 20s.
Like what kind of studios?
Well, I went first. I can't remember now what was first, but in Paris and London. In London, I worked in music right away in a big recording studio. I was lucky to be able to work there with a lot of famous people. And then in Paris, I was more in doing post production over there, also with big post production for films and TV. But early on, I knew I wanted to be more in the sound, in the music part of engineering, which I did after. So yeah, basically did all the thing. Also producing and composing music was always a very strong interest for me. But it's the second stage. First thing is really technical. Being able to make the best sound is really mental.
And I was really impressed because Michel Gallone is capable of everything in the mixing, so even reproduce some sound that you can hear in other places. It's wow, it's really professional work. And what are your references? What are the artists that you dreamed to work with, and finally you are in the recording studio with them? And
well, basically, I think the skills I learned with quite a few people, but definitely I worked many years for producer Mutt Lang, who was very influential for me because it was definitely the kind of guy that goes all the way to make the sound he wants in his head. And that's the thing, there's no compromise or very little compromise with people like him. I worked with him, with other producers that I also very much, admired. But definitely Mutt Lang was the one I worked the longest, and that's where I learned, you have to go the next step. You can never stop.
you have to push.
You have to push, and then getting your own sound and getting basically getting further away with sound is just a matter of work and listening and definitely doing all that. If I have I don't know if I have people I dreamed of working with. Maybe not. I mean, there's a lot of engineers and producers I always admired. The people I met, like George Massenburg, for example, and I don't know, quite a few, and I was more inspired by the actual engineers and producers rather than the artists. The artists, I wish I could work with all the big names because you learn so much from them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's one I'd like to work more with, but that's it. Yeah.
Beautiful. And perhaps you can explain us if you had like a turning point in your career where everything started working for you.
Yeah, I have a few actually. Shortly, I can say first turning point is definitely when you go abroad. Like I went to the US and started first studying and then working over there. So it's like discovering a totally different culture and everything, and just discovering that the US is basically culturally is music. There's a real industry over there. It's all about an industry of music that doesn't exist anywhere else.
What?
So definitely it's big over there. And then went to Paris, London, all these different cities where you feel the people, you feel the activity, and you go very far. And definitely another turning point was working with this producer Matt Lang that taught me so much, and I went so far in learning things with him. And finally, another turning point was definitely starting my own company with a few colleagues, amongst one which is still with me, it's Bob Arnedo, and that was definitely the few turning points I had.
So can you explain us a bit more about what you are doing? What do you want to achieve now with Swiss Artist Production?
Yes, absolutely. So in order to get that, we have to go back to the first company, which was So What Music, which we founded in the year 2000, so 23 years ago. And it was similar, the goal was similar to what we are doing now, but a bit different because at the time it was a commercial company. So we had definitely the goal of developing artists, going with artists all the way to the international stage, because we knew already at the time that in Switzerland there's not enough international acts. And we always wanted to get there. You look at Sweden, where they have all the best producers like Max Martin and everything. They all came from there. Yeah. So we always thought, why Sweden and why not Switzerland? And definitely there's reasons for that. But even never mind the reasons, we wanted to get there. That was the point. Mm-hmm. It was difficult, and we're still trying to get there. We had some artists that got known locally. Well, yeah. Very hard to get some internationally. We had a few that went internationally, especially in reggaeton at the time. We were pretty early on with reggaeton. It was in the early 2010, not even 2010. So that was the thing. But then so we went on for many years, and then in 2018, so it's not very long ago, we decided to switch from a commercial company to a non-profit company. For many reasons, but the main reason is a philosophical reason, is that we think that there's so many big labels that take advantage of artists, and we want to do the same kind of work, but without, basically what we do, the company we created has to belong to the artist also. So basically, all of the artists are part of the committee of the company, and it becomes a non-profit company that belongs to the artist and not to some big name or big people that want to make money. So that's the thing. And then naturally the way you work that way is not very different from a commercial company, because you still have to fight on the same stage than the other company. But that's basically it. So now we've been doing it now for a few years, and we just try to get artists exactly the same thing, try to take them to the next
stage. I think it's beautiful because you offer the chance to work with a professional like you, and you have some stuff to create video clip. You have a good vision about everything that is required to work in this musical industry, and it's good because it goes to my one other question is like. How do you see the future in Switzerland? How do you see in regards of the music industry? Because we all know that it's hard, but from my viewpoint, and I traveled a lot, I saw that it's hard for everyone. It's just that the opportunities are different. So, do you see some opportunity or do you have a vision for the music industry in Switzerland, or do you think it's going to stay like this and we have to just accept it?
No, the very difficult thing in Switzerland is that there's no industry in Switzerland. We cannot say that because there's too many different cultures, and basically culturally it's so much different from the French, from the Italian, from the German, is that Switzerland is already very small, but when you cut it with all the language barriers and language cultures, because it's very different cultures, so it's like it becomes extremely small. So basically the French part of Switzerland is really like a French department. We belong to France, basically. We don't belong to Switzerland because culturally we are in France and not in Switzerland. The same with the German part. They don't belong to Switzerland culturally. They belong to Germany a lot. It's a bit different because they have their own language, the Swiss German, but still, it's very much German, and then the Italian part is very Italian. So there's no identity, and that's we have to accept. There's almost no Swiss identity. We have to find ways to exist, basically. How
True.
can we be
And
something?
I can see that too, and at the same time it's strange because for the example of South Africa, there is a lot of different language and they can join together around a musical culture. So for me here, it's perhaps too the mentality too, because we are really humble person. We are hard workers sometimes, and it's hard for them to say, hey, what I'm doing is cool, go and check it. And I think it's perhaps to improve a bit this culture here to
Be proud.
to be proud, and more than that,
Yeah.
to lead people like, hey, what I'm doing is, it's pure music, it's pure love, go and experience what I experienced, and that now I'm here to allow you to experience that feeling too.
Yeah.
Or you can build yourself around the music, because for my case I really built myself from a young age around the music, and it helped me to grow in a positive way, you know.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes what I think we are a bit missing is people that take the lead and say how we can implement culture in Switzerland. Really
Have a real musical culture, being emerge into the whole thing, and that's the big problem we have here.
Yeah, and I think something that help a lot, and you said it before, is like traveling, because it open your mind and it allow you to understand better the industry, but other facts too, and to learn and to meet people that you never know.
Yeah.
You are going to collaborate with them later, or it's powerful.
Yeah.
I think the power of music too is the meeting with the people, people who create the music and the people who really love the music.
Yeah.
So in Switzerland perhaps too is to ask how we can give more to the fan and offer them more experience that they can live.
So you basically be more passionate about it and be more totally into it. Yeah, that's definitely something we can do probably, but who knows? We try and help people getting there.
True.
That's
True.
what we'll see.
And thanks for contributing to do that.
Thank
and
you.
We'll never know. Perhaps one day you are going to work on one of my songs,
Yes.
or we are going to work together with pleasure.
Definitely.
Thanks a lot, Michel.
Okay.
And, bye bye.
Bye. Cheers.
Thank you.